Hello, Boda. Can you hear me just fine? Hello again, Rocket. How you doing? And you guys hear me all right? I'm just making sure everything's working. Looks all right on my end. Yeah. So, how's your guys' day going? All right, that's good to hear. All right, well, you can go ahead and start launching your questions, and I hope your guys' days are going well. Well, I decided I need to make this a little bit about an hour earlier because I gotta get ready to go on my flight to on a week long trip. So that's why. Yep, I had to do everything just a little bit earlier today. I I'm not a real big fan of either of them. But if I had to pick, I guess I'd go for Dr Pepper. I guess I haven't had root beer in a very long time. I was never really a big fan of the taste. To be honest. Just got out of grammatics class. Well, I hope you're having a good day at school. Hello, Winter Ghost. Welcome back, OG. Hope you're doing well. I was just telling everybody I'm just had to do this stream about an hour early because I got to get ready to go on a flight, and I'll be away from my main computer for about a week. But I'm bringing my brand new laptop, which let me show you guys real quick. I think it's pretty cool. Now I have I don't know. This is like a gaming laptop, so and it actually is in the same operating class as my PC. So now I actually have a set of pairing PCs and laptops. So I think that's pretty good. Hey, what's up, Phantom Sis? How's your day going? And thanks for stopping by. So it says here we have like 9 viewers, which I think is pretty good. Which Resident Evil would I say has the best enemies? Probably 4. I'd say I still think 4 has the best enemies. I'm not. I mean, I think zombies are a little bit too easy, and I think that when you go too far with we go with enemies. I mean, when you go to like Resident Evil 6, you have well, yeah, I'd still say it's 4. I think it has probably the best collection, and the enemies I think have a good set of diversity regardless of which area you're going through. Um, So yeah, I would say I don't think they're as intense as I don't like it when they're using like pure firearms. Like when you go to the Chris's campaign in Resident Evil 6. I mean, there are like a few enemies that use firearms, but it seems proper. But it's not to like the last chapter when you're like invading a military base. Then it makes and it's only like one enemy and he's using like a Gatling gun. At that point, it does make sense that they would probably start using guns because I always thought the Las Plagas was a lot more threatening than mutated or reanimated corpses. So. Yeah, I definitely would say 4. Have I seen Final Fantasy VII Machina Abridged from Team 4 Star? It's really funny parody series based off the entirety of the original game, and it is comedy gold. I really recommend it. I may have seen it, but I can't confirm it. It does sound like something I may have come across. I do remember someone doing like a parody series of Final Fantasy VIII, but I can't recall if I've seen one for 7, but it may have been something I've seen, but I just kind of passed over because I wasn't too interested in it. If I'm being fair. Imagine if Mystic Force Rangers were as powerful as Doctor Strange. To be fair, I don't think that was a great season. I mean, I didn't really watch much of Mystic Force, but from what I had heard, they had just a lot of problems. But if Power Rangers were that powerful, then there's not really much of a threat level. I mean, Power Rangers should be powerful, but they should never feel completely OP. And there have been a few Rangers at times where they felt like a little OP, but the longer we saw them, the less powerful they seemed. So it was just like, oh, this guy seemed really powerful in the beginning, but then over time, it was like, oh no, you just need to know how to handle them. What fast food restaurant do I think has the best French fries? Ooh. Personally, I easily would go with Burger King. I don't like McDonald's French fries. Not at all. I think Burger King's is they're not like as big as like something you would get at something like Fat Burger or In and Out. Oh dear God, In and Out French fries are the worst. They taste like cardboard. But I would definitely say the best French fries is definitely Burger King. What DMC game has the best enemies to hack and slash on? Oh, I'd definitely go with Devil May Cry 5. Yeah, I'd say. I still think that Devil May Cry 5 has the best combat of any of the Devil May Cry games, and I think the enemy variety very much supports that. I think as the games went along, I think the enemy variety and enemy performance was definitely improved. So yeah, I would definitely say that Devil May Cry 5 has the best set of enemy collection. Yeah, I think so. And the fact that you have certain enemies that work well with each of the individual playable characters, and or just play as forward if you want to play the full campaign. But yeah, that's what I would say. I thought Resident Evil 6 had some great mutations. I think it had some good mutations. It just felt like all of them were using firearms. Like if you're playing through Chris's campaign, all the enemies are using guns. If you play through Jake's campaign, most of them are using guns. If you play through Leon's campaign, none of them are using guns. In fact, you're fighting primarily nothing but zombies. And I think Ada, I think there's some enemies that are using guns, but there aren't many. But I think that's very early on, and yeah, I just think that when you give the enemies too much guns, it feels like it feels like a third person shooter, and I don't think Resident Evil should have gone down that road. I mean, it's kind of like the similar mistake that something like Dead Space 3 made. I mean, they still had regular necromorphs, but now they were throwing in human enemies and enemies that could use firearms, and now that you were just turning it into a third-person shooter, and that's just not the direction you want to go with survival horror. You can have enemies that can use weapons and fire back, but, like, you don't want to add too much of it. Who is my top 5 favorite Jedi? I don't know. I guess just off the top of my head, I'd go with, like, people like Obi-Wan Kenobi and Kyle Katarn, maybe Qui-Gon Jinn, Plo Koon, and I don't know, who would I say is a fifth one? I guess Mara Jade. I say just off the top of my head. What are my thoughts on the passing of Bray Wyatt? Oh, that scared me. Dear God, I did not know he was sick. I mean, I looked into that, and they said that he was off because he apparently got COVID, and that may have like interfered with some heart issues that he may have had. That scared the hell out of me because he was only 36, which is scary young. Because I'm about to turn 33 soon. So yeah, I mean, if someone had died and they'd been like in their 50s or 60s, that would have been like, okay, that's unfortunate, but okay, I've been used to that. But someone like that who had a wife and young kids, 36, dude, to me that felt worse than someone like I would say this is probably outside of maybe Eddie Guerrero's death, this is probably the worst, the most shocking death that I've seen happen since I was watching wrestling. But yeah, I was genuinely shocked because we were all waiting for him to come back because it looked like he had a really good storyline when he left, and it just seemed like he was just away for a little bit. And we were just I thought he might come back at Royal Rumble, but dear God, just ugh. Man, that is something. Makes you kind of stop and think. It was like, oof. Yeah, that definitely did rattle me a little bit. Hey, what's up, Zach? How you doing? Oh snap! It says I got 11 people in here. That's crazy. You look at the behind the scenes stuff from Death Island. No, I did. I wasn't it. No, man. I'm done with that film. I did not like it. I did not like it, and I didn't really care for behind the scenes. I saw it once. I had a feeling it was gonna be what I thought it was gonna be. It ended up being exactly what it was gonna be. The problems I thought I did have with it. I saw it once. I don't need to see it again. I'm good. I'm past that now. I'm not even thinking about that anymore. Have I ever seen the Did I see the Gran Turismo movie? No, I didn't see it. I'm not a Gran Turismo fan. Why would I want to go see a movie based off of it? And it's not even about the game. It's apparently about the story about some guy who actually played the game and then actually became a Formula One driver. I mean, okay. I mean, does that mean if I play Ace Combat for like a long period of time, does that mean I can join the Air Force and become a fighter pilot and fly F-35s? I mean, is that what that mean? I mean, heck, that's a story I'd like to see. But heck, maybe that's happened. But again, as far I mean, again, Gran Turismo, it's a driving simulator game. I don't consider that a racing game. It's a drive simulator. I mean if it happened, okay, but that's just something I'm not interested in. You're 36, yeah, yeah. Yeah, dude. You're young, or I'd say. I mean, I feel old, but yeah, 30. If you're not, I would say you're still pretty young. I'd say once you hit like 40, you can say you're a bit old, but not your 30s. How would I feel if Star Wars Force Unleashed 3 was announced and the people making it are the same people who made Jedi Survivor? I'd feel a little off about it because I'm like, we want to go back to the Unleashed story now. I'm not sure if that would be the wise thing because I think the Unleashed storyline is something that existed before Disney Star Wars. So I just don't think it makes sense to have Disney Star Wars try to interfere in storylines that happened before its time. And every time they've done that, they've messed it up. So I would really appreciate if they just left that type of content alone and just focus on their own stuff. So I personally I would be very hesitant. I wouldn't. I don't need an Unleashed 3 at this point. It's just been too long. I'm curious if they're gonna try to introduce some elements from the Unleashed storyline, but I would just prefer they just leave it alone at this point. Just leave it alone. Still, if they do bring back Jill in the games, I wonder if you would like the idea that Jill has guilt and shame for what she did. Dude, if she's still thinking about that after all these years, that's a real problem. We're thinking about Chris having PTSD from his. I'm not sure if you remember this, but before Resident Evil 5 came out, they were releasing these trailers about Chris, and he was having PTSD about his experience in Resident Evil 5. I mean, if they do something like that, that could be a little bit interesting. But past that, I'd be like, yeah, we should be past this. I mean, you guys have been through worse things. I mean, what did Jill really do? Jill didn't kill anybody that we know. She might have, we saw her, infect one lonely peasant? That's about it. Jill didn't really do anything. As far as we know, Jill didn't really do much. She was just a stooge while she was on the West. We never saw her do anything really bad. So I don't think she's got to worry too much. Hey, Winter Ghost. How's my day? My day is going all right. I just pretty much spent most of it just packing and cleaning. You can actually see a suitcase right here. So I'm just getting ready to leave in about a few hours. Hey, what's up, Drew? How you doing? Did you ever play the the PSP version of Force Unleashed? No, I did not. I stuck mainly to the PlayStation 3 versions. I did not play Force Unleashed on any other console. I have excellent news. I saw Blue Beetle recently, and I hit 600 subscribers. Hey, congratulations on hitting 600, man. Well, you keep up the grinding, and heck, you'll get to your first 1,000 in no time. I know it took me like 2 years before I got to mine, so heck, you keep the grinding going, heck, you'll hit that goal. How would I feel if you heard that Albert Wesker is coming back for Resident Evil 9? No, I would think that's stupid. Wesker's dead. I mean, you don't come back. I mean, dude, you don't come back from taking a swim in some molten lava and getting hit with 2 RPGs in the face. You don't come back from that. RPGs typically are the all and end all killing enemies. It's tradition. You get hit with an RPG, you're not coming back. So Wesker is dead. And why would Wesker come back in Resident Evil 9? I mean, at this point, Chris and the gang are pretty old at this point and should be retired. I mean, they should have retired a lot of these characters back in Resident Evil 6. So, no, I would not want Wesker to come back. They've already messed that up. I mean, I think how Wesker went out was okay, but it's just like Resident Evil without Wesker has just kind of felt very lackluster. Like, I didn't even play Resident Evil 7, and then Resident Evil 8 was okay, but I didn't think Mother Miranda was really that memorable. Or the other members of that family, I mean, they were okay, but I didn't think they were very memorable. So it just kind of it kind of feels like this is what the franchise would be if I had as primary villain, and they're just trying to come up with just a villain of the week in every following up game. So that's how I feel. I mean, at least you could say that in like the Resident Evils before that, Wesker was maybe perhaps not directly involved, but his influence, you could definitely feel that he had some part to play in the events that were going on. I'm waiting for the day they bring back. Let's see. What were my thoughts on Tales of the Jedi miniseries from last year? I don't really have many thoughts on that. I think I didn't actually watch it. I saw clips of it, and it just seemed like just kind of whatever. I mean, we have a 3-part series talking about the fall of Dooku, which I already knew about that, and then you had like 3 parts talking about Ahsoka. I just saw clips of it. I didn't actually watch the whole thing, so it just looked just kind of okay to me. But I'm not gonna buy a subscription to Disney Plus to watch it. I haven't done that. I think the last thing of Disney I watched was Obi-Wan Kenobi, and that was just like kind of whatever. Like it was. I mean, it wasn't the worst thing ever, but like it had every right to be great, and it wasn't. So. I mean, once they screwed that up, I was just like, I got no faith in Disney Star Wars anymore and anything they're doing. That's why I'm not even interested in watching this Ahsoka series until it's over, and I'll just watch clips of it. I don't need to actually watch it. I'm waiting for the day that they bring back Jake. Heck, Wesker's son, where's he? Like, come on, bring these characters back. I mean, you introduce these characters, you don't want to just make them one-off characters. That just sucks. Remember, the virus might have slowed down the aging. Oh. We're going back to Jill, dude. You just don't want to drop this, do you? You just don't want to drop this. Let's move on. The only reason Wesker survives is he made it out of... If he's made of adamantium. If he was made out of adamantium, he would have needed to mutate. He would... Heck, if he was made of adamantium, then guns wouldn't work on him. And that'd be a whole different set of problems. If it exited, would you play a hybrid home portable? If it existed, would I play a hybrid home portable PlayStation console in the vein of Nintendo Switch? Of Force Unleashed? Probably not, because I just thought the PlayStation 3 version was just fine for what it was trying to do. It felt fine, so I don't need to play any other version of it. I mean, what else am I going to get out of it? I'm not going to get a different story, so I don't see a reason. Resident Evil 0 had the worst enemies, I think. Well, I didn't play that one, but I saw playthroughs of it, and it just looked odd. I mean, I did find it funny how Rebecca is like this hunter-killing machine, and she kills like hundreds of hunters, and yet the first time you see her in Resident Evil 1, she's like cornered and like totally afraid of hunters. It'd be like, didn't this woman kill like 200 of these just like 5 minutes ago before showing up at the mansion? So like, why does she seem so unprepared now? Like, she probably has a higher kill count than anyone from that squad at that point, so a bit weird. Hey, what's up, Vampire A? You're a new viewer. Hey, welcome. I'm assuming this is your first episode to my first Q&A, so heck, welcome. It's been confirmed that Sony is increasing the price of the PlayStation Plus again. What are my thoughts? Hey, I don't really notice it, man. I mean, if they increase it, I mean, okay. I mean, if it's by a little bit, then heck, I won't notice. I mean, I got like a notice a few days ago that they were gonna slightly increase the price of GameFly. Heck, I'm not really gonna notice it. The Ahsoka show is good. I saw it the first two episodes, and I will see the third one soon. I hope you enjoy it, but it just didn't look very interesting to me. So heck, I'll wait till it's all done, and I'll watch clips of it and see if it's worth it. Hey, what's up, Jackie Boy? I love that name, Jackie Boy. I just watched Sin City the other day, and that name just sticks out to me, Jackie Boy. I've been checking out your channel for a while. I really like your content. Thanks, Vampire A. I appreciate that. It's always nice to talk to people who enjoy the content I put up. Have I heard of the Spiderwick Chronicles, either the books or the movies? Nope, I have never heard of that. For a moment there, I thought it might have been like some made-up combination of John Wick and Spider-Man, which sounds like a pretty cool idea, but yeah, no, I've never heard of it. Didn't point this out, but you might remember me as Fan Fanatic 2. Okay, yeah, I'm really bad with names, so yeah, whatever name you go by here is typically the best way to remember you, but to be fair, I like Jackie Boy a little bit better. Have I seen Advent... Hold it right. Wait 1 second. Have I seen Advent Children? Is that a joke? Have I seen Advent Children? Have I seen Advent Children? Buddy, I got 3 copies of it. I got it on 4K Ultra HD. I got it on Blu-ray. And I also got the limited edition collector set that released when the film came out in 2007 that not only comes with a 2-disc special on DVD, but it also comes with a copy of the script and the novel, along with all these postcards that I haven't even opened up yet. Yeah, these are Final Fantasy VII Advent Children postcards. Still not been opened. Have I seen Final Fantasy Advent Children? What kind of question is that? Heck, man, I've done like 4 videos on Advent Children Cloud for my Versus series, so yeah, I think it's safe to say I've seen Advent Children. In fact, I think I've seen it quite a lot of times, so I love questions like that. But yes, in short, yes, I have seen it. So you think Insomnia Spider-Man could survive a Raccoon City? Yeah, if he just stays the hell out of zombies' ways and gets the hell out. I don't see why he can't survive. You couldn't agree more. Question, what are my thoughts on the TMNT game that got announced? Oh, you mean The Last Ronin? Could be interesting if it's M-rated, which that's what that story is about. You know, I thought that was a very unique style of story. But to be fair, that much darker tone is actually more in line with like the original telling of TMNT. A lot of people don't know that, but like if you see the original story that's done in black and white, it's pretty dark. It wasn't until later they kind of made it kid friendly, but like, so it was interesting to see a storyline go in that direction, because there have been some really dark stories, like adult style dark stories for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So see them want to try to revisit that at this point in time, I think I definitely would give a game a chance. Was just curious. Well, I hope your curiosity has been met. I have definitely seen it. Yes. What is my favorite action set piece in any Devil May Cry game? Ooh, that's easy. My favorite action set piece in any Devil May Cry game would probably have to be Dante's descent down Timmy McGrew in Devil May Cry 3. After he gets his demon powers awakened, he jumps off and he just starts killing these demons as he's going down, and then he gets eaten by Leviathan at the end. But I think that entire sequence is still incredible to this day. I've yet to see a sequence in any Devil May Cry before or since that has like matched the level of awesomeness. Like that's something I wish I could see in live action. But knowing Hollywood, they probably wouldn't do it justice. So, and this is Capcom we're talking about. So yeah, that would definitely be my favorite. I also have 3 copies. What a coincidence! Any thoughts on the new Assassin's Creed game? Mirage? Yeah, it looks like it's a game that's going to go back to its basics. And heck, if they want to go in that direction, that's cool. I actually had a discussion with my friend John, and we were discussing why he was really excited about Mirage and how he didn't really like how he didn't think like something like Origins or Odyssey or Valhalla, he didn't think they felt like Assassin's Creed games, and we had this very long discussion. I personally, I liked Origins. I really loved Odyssey, but I definitely agree that they felt more like the game was kind of pushing you more towards like more of an action game. That's why I think that some people didn't like them, because they didn't feel as stealthy as Assassin's Creed. It just felt like with like older Assassin's Creed games, it was much more encouraging you to take the quiet approach. It was like you should only have to fight head to head as like a last resort, as opposed to like that era of Assassin's Creed game. It was like, well, you can spend like 15 minutes trying to be stealthy in this mission, or you can just go head to head and kill everybody like in 3 or 4 minutes. And it seemed like the way the game was built, it was encouraging you to just go head to head. And for a lot of the game, that's what I did. I didn't want to waste my time being stealthy. I would just go in and kill everybody. So it seems like Mirage looks like it's going to go back to basics, and if they want to do that, I think that's fine. I think having 3 games that has that kind of much more action-focused base was a good period, so if they want to go back to basics and have things focus more on stealth, then I'm all for that. Speaking of Final Fantasy VII, do you think a short story or DLC about... Yeah. I think a story like that would be all right, but I damn sure hope it's not connected to this so-called remake era, because I want nothing to do with it. Well, in his heroic nature, he would try to save as many as he can, like Jill, Claire, and Leon. Yeah, he probably would. And I'm sure he'd be pretty successful, but I think he would probably just try to stay as evasive as possible. Super Megaforce came out. Operation Overdrive was often considered the worst Power Ranger seasons. I would say, yeah, Megaforce. Yeah, it was. I would say, yeah, I would say, yeah, that era. Yeah, I think it was pretty bad. That's well after my time of Power Rangers, but from what little I saw of it, it was not good. Devil May Cry 2 is overhated. I agree. I don't think that's a bad game. I just think it's easy. And again, it did a lot of things very, very well that a lot of people do not give that game credit for. It did some things in Devil May Cry 2 that were better than in Devil May Cry 3 or 1, or heck, even Devil May Cry 4. A lot of lessons in terms of how you handled a game with multiple characters that had different approaches. They had different enemies. Devil May Cry 2 did that better up until Devil May Cry 5, and I think the fact that no one gives the game credit, I think is a crime. Agreed. What is my all-time favorite firearm in any Devil May Cry game? Well, obviously it's the Ebony and Ivory pistols. So you can't go wrong with those 2 suckers. I would love to get like replicas of those. How would I rank the party members in Final Fantasy VII? You mean like from worst to best? I think I did something like this maybe, and if I haven't, maybe I should. Okay, going from worst to best. Worst, Cat Sif. Why the hell is he here? I don't know why this stupid android from the Golden Saucer followed us. Once we left Golden Saucer, there was no need for him to come. After that, I would say Yuffie, Eris or Aerith, however you say it. Red 13. Barrett. Vincent. Tifa, and then Cloud. That's how I'd rank them. I'm not going to count Zack and Sephiroth because those were temporary party members and I was only doing a flashback, but that would be my ranking of the team. Video idea. Is there any list you feel you need to remake? Maybe not remake, but maybe update. And perhaps so, because I'm going to have like over these next 7 days while I'm away, I'm going to have like a lot of free time to do some filming. So like, I'm definitely looking for ideas that I can film on my vacation. And just to give you a heads up, I'm gonna mention this again in the community center. But next week's episode is gonna be like a co-op episode. It's not gonna be done live like this. It's gonna be done on film. And honestly, I would just like you guys to ask my brother some questions. So just in case for those who got here a little bit later, I'm getting ready to go on a 7-day trip to visit my brother so we can celebrate our birthdays together. And typically, I always have him like do an episode of TPQ, so we can answer questions together. But you know, honestly, if you guys have questions for him, because I think you guys some of you guys if you guys have been watching this channel long enough, you've seen him a number of times. So that's what I'm getting ready for. And I definitely like if I have any projects or ideas for things, I'll definitely be filming some. So that'll be something. But again, I'll be sure to make another reminder on the community tab as soon as the stream's over. So that's where you'll be able to post your questions for him, and I'll have him answer them for you. I'm getting sick of all these remakes. Heck, I am too. I mean, some remakes recently have been good, but like, start doing something else. I mean, when you do nothing but remakes and sequels, that just tells me that you guys have no ideas. You're very lacking on creativity, or you don't have faith in creating something new, and so you want to go to a proven IP and then just build off the success of that. That's what that tells me. I bet you probably would be okay with a Resident Evil CV remake. What the hell is that? I don't even know what that is. I don't know what CV is. At least Dino Charge was a step in the right direction. I didn't see Dino Charge, man. Again, that's Power Rangers well before my time. I mean, I know that I think they're doing something like Dino Fury, Dino Charge, or whatever the hell it is, and they just recently announced that Billy's coming back in a little bit, and I'm like, why? It's like, that seems a little out of place, but alright. Question, can you make a top 5 least favorite Final Fantasy bosses list? Least favorite? What do you mean least? Like, I hate these fights? Like, I'm annoyed by these fights? Or like, do I hate the bosses because they're so good so I want to kill them even more? Like what do you mean? Because that's a lot of bosses. And so it's like, if it's a boss I don't like, then I just go through it and I don't think about it. So that's kind of a hard question to answer and describe. You've got, oh shit, I did forget Sid. Damn it. Where would I put Sid? I think I'd put Sid, I would put Sid ahead of Red 13. Damn, how the hell did I forget Sid? Damn it, I feel bad about that. Sid's a regular. I feel bad. I was actually thinking that Final Fantasy 7 party members there, so it would be a cool idea. He did something like that with Final Fantasy 10. Yes, I did. I really like that ranking of 10. And if you haven't seen that one, I would recommend you guys check that out. I really enjoyed that list doing that one. Can you do a top 5 Jill Valentine outfits, same with other outfits? That's a weird idea for outfits. I'm not sure that would work. I'll be fair. I don't think a list like that would work because I really don't care what she looks like. I don't care about your outfits. I just wanted a different fucking look. That's all I wanted. Give me a different look for Jill. Don't copy and paste her look from one game because you think that the Resident Evil fans are stupid enough that we can't tell the difference. That's my problem. They make us think they must think we're stupid or something. How's the job situation? Still working 2 jobs? Yes, I am, but I will be dropping to one very soon after I get back from my trip, because I just looked at the palette for games I have set up for like the month of October, and Jesus Christ, this is going to be one crazy ass month. And if I have 2 jobs, this is not going to work. Not with 2 jobs. Not after seeing what I went through this year with how long it took me to get through games. I mean, look at this. I mean, I got Mortal Kombat comes out later this month. That's going to be an issue. Then RoboCop. Metal Gear comes out on the 24th. Alan Wake comes out on the 22nd. Assassin's Creed comes out on the 4th. Spider-Man comes out on the 20th. So, like, right there, that's like 4 games. 4, maybe 5. Probably 5 games. All coming out in a short amount of time. And then going into November, I have Modern Warfare 3 and then Super Mario RPG. And, like, the RPG, that's going to take me a while. Modern Warfare, if I had good enough time, I probably can get through that, like, in a day or 2. But, like, these other games, like, yeah, I need a committed amount of time. Like, at least 6 to 8 hours a day. And you can't do that with 2 jobs. And and the fact that I have to rent and buy these games, I mean, that's what sucks. Like, a lot of these reviewers get reviewer copies. I don't even know how you do that. I mean, I've been doing this channel for so long, and I have more subscribers. Like, trust me, if I could get review copies and get these games out early, it would save time and money because I could get them earlier out. And the thing is that I actually have to wait. When I'm renting a game from, like, Gameplay, I actually have to wait a day or 2 for the game to get here before I can even start playing. And by that point, most of the reviews are out. And for a lot of YouTube, if you don't have a dedicated or strong enough or big enough following, you need to get your reviews out as quickly as possible. Otherwise, your reviews will be forgotten. Oh, Code Veronica. Okay. Yeah. You could do a top 5 Jill's outfits, same with other characters. Yeah, no. Not to mention remakes ruin the legacy of the original games. Yes, Vampire, I agree. That's exactly what the bullshit remake of 7 did. Which is why I don't like acknowledging it. It sucks. Code Veronica. Yeah, I will say this. They should have remade Code Veronica before 4. There was no need to remake 4. Should have done Code Veronica first. If you wanted to remake, start remaking those games that use the old school style of camera angles and tank controls. Go through all those games first, then you could have started attacking the newer era. That's what they should have done. Outside of Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and Red Tails, have I seen Tucker, the Man in His Dreams, Willow, the Labyrinth, and Radioland Murders? Okay, Tucker the Man, I've never heard of. Willow, I've heard of, I've never seen. Labyrinth with David Bowie, yes, I have seen that multiple times, and I like it. Radioland Murders, I've never even heard of that. So, yes, a lot of these I've not heard. Because those first 4 films I mentioned are owned by Lucasfilms. Yeah, I knew that. But no, I've not seen them all. Like, you hate the fights. Hate the fights? Yeah, I would say I probably do. I feel like your pain of seeing your favorite game of all time be remade. I believe me, I had that with Resident Evil 4. It's okay. Let me rephrase this. Final Fantasy VII is not my favorite game of all time. It's the most important game I've ever played, because that's the game that made me a story-driven gamer and solidified JRPGs as my favorite genre of games. My favorite game of all time is Metal Gear Solid 3, and I'm very hesitant about that, because I think they're going to strip out anything Kojima-related or Kojima-ish, and then it's going to feel not even like Metal Gear Solid 3 anymore. And that's what I'm afraid of, because I think that this is going to be like a big screw you to Kojima, and it's going to be blatantly obvious, and that's something I'm not interested in at all. Like, I was talking to so many people at MGS Con about this. This was like my big fear, and they said that I don't think Konami's going to do that because it would just be cheaper just to stick to what's already there instead of go through the trouble of having to change so much about it. And I'm afraid they're going to introduce a lot of modern liberal ideas and political views during a time period where that didn't exist, and then it just feels so out of place. So that's my fear. Apparently, Bo Wright Show got gender. I don't think that's the case. I just think that Madame Bo was his wife. I think Bo Right Joe's in there. We don't know yet, but I'm pretty sure that's just his wife. I don't think he got gender bended. Although that old lady did have some pretty kick-ass moves until she got knocked out. I would not be surprised if she could be like a cameo character. And I gotta say, the real MVP of those first 17 minutes was the guy at the bar. Like, he gave zero fucks to what was going on. Like, it was an MVP moment. I was like, man, that guy needs to be a character. Like, he just like, this is like a normal Monday for him at the bar. It's just like, yeah, it's like, oh yeah, you took the cap off and got, oh, ice cubes, like, hey, thanks. Like, that guy was awesome. Every time you always bring up Jill, like they have a crush or fetish for her or something. Hey, dude, I'm into redheads, so I'm more accustomed to Claire. I would talk more about Claire before I talk about Jill or Ada, so that's why. Have I seen Invincible? I don't think so. Hey, Winter Ghost, Jackie Boy, what's up? What is your favorite lightsaber duel in Star Wars prequel trilogy? Well, obviously it's Anakin versus Obi-Wan, so with, the Duel of Fates being a good number 2, obviously. Resident Evil Remake ruined the legacy of the original 2. You're damn right it did. Holy hell, was that game off. Would that game have been worse? I played the demo, and I didn't like it, and I was just like, oh my god, I need to play the demo first. And then I played the original, and the original felt so much better. And then I actually saw a good playthrough of the remake, and I didn't like the changes that they made to it. Like, had I played that game, I would have disliked it more than Resident Evil 3. Which is crazy, because the OG Resident Evil 4, it's a 10 out of 10 game, and it still to this day remains my favorite video game of all time. Had I played this remake, I easily would have given it a 4 or 5. So to go from, like, a 10 all-time great to a game that, like, I've played only once and I never want to play it again, I wouldn't even recommend it, that is a massive drop. It's like, there's only like been a few times where I think the remake is better than the original, and the only case off the top of my head that I can think of is Dead Space. I will openly confess I think the remake of Dead Space is a better version than the original, and I think it does a much better job connecting the Dead Space 2 than the original did. I would even say it does a much better job at connecting to the expanded lore of Dead Space and everything that was going on than the original did. So I'll openly admit that. That's the only remake I can think off the top of my head that I've actually thought was definitely better than the original. But that's incredibly rare in gaming. I meant Metal Gear Solid 3. Yeah, we'll see what happens. How much time do we have? Oh, snap, that went by fast. I got like 16 minutes. All right, who is the best love interest for Indiana Jones? Willie Scott? I already know the answer. Well, obviously the one he married, so that's not really a spoiler. Persona 3 is the most personal, impactful game. Hey, dude, I understand that. Yeah, gaming does that a lot. I played a lot of games that I was emotionally connected to. I didn't heck. I'll give you a good example. I did not go to prom because I could not find a date. So you know what I did for my prom night? This is senior prom. So instead of that, I decided that I would stay home and I would spend the night playing Kingdom Hearts 2. And I bought my own pizza and I bought 2 sets of liters of Mountain Dew. And I spent all night playing Kingdom Hearts 2. And that was a better experience than apparently what happened at prom night. Because when I went to school the next day, my friends told me what had happened. And it's like, woo, looks like I dodged a bullet. Heck, I spent all night playing Kingdom Hearts 2, and it was a wonderful experience. So I was just like, heck, it looks like I didn't really miss much during prom night. Who is my starter in Scarlet Violet? I do not know, because I quit playing that game after, I believe, an hour. So I bought a copy. I bought a copy of Scarlet. I played it for an hour, and I hated it, and then I returned it. And I think I put the money towards getting Callisto Protocol. So yeah, I hated it. I did not like Scarlet after now. I was like, wait, you're telling me the legendary Pokemon, the cover Pokemon is my bike? And you're throwing me into an area you're throwing me into the starting area has Pokemon that are 20 levels ahead of where I should be. Like, what is this? I was like, oh, I need to stop playing this game now. So yeah. Hello, Vengeance. How you doing? The fight in Revenge of the Sith is overrated. What? No, it's not. I would think technically it's really great, and it's massively important. I mean, you could also say the Duel of Fates is also important, but I don't think it's overrated. I think it's great. I think it's awesome. You like the Resident Evil remake, but it doesn't hold a candle to the original. Heck, if people like the remake, that's fine. It would not work for me. What kind of coffee do I like to get from Starbucks? Anything with vanilla in it or caramel, anything like that, I'm all for it. This may sound random, but I call Willie from Temple of Doom Screaming Willie due to how numerous times she screams. Understandable, but I will say this: Willie probably had the bravest moment in that entire film when she went to that bug room. That scene has scarred me. There is a reason why I'm deadly scared of bugs, and it is that scene. So the fact that she went through that and still pushed through is probably the bravest thing I've ever seen in a film, because I would literally be freaking out. I'm not sure. I don't think I could do it. I don't know. She did something I don't know if I would be able to do it. Even for a loved one, that's how scary that scene was. I'm deadly afraid of bugs. I mean, I'm not. You guys can't see this, but like all throughout my apartment, there are like so many bug traps. It's crazy. There's like 40 different bug traps, like in every single corner of the apartment, and we've like sprayed every single window and outlet with like very, very poisonous spray. Now we shouldn't have to worry about that because like fall's coming, but like, dude, that was a freaky ass scene, and a key reason why Temple of Doom is my favorite. What is the strangest game I've played? I don't know. I'm not sure what I would define as strange. It's like I'm really not sure. What happened at senior prom? Okay, well apparently what happened was a fight broke out. So they were doing the whole prom queen thing, and apparently the girl who won got attacked by another girl, and she literally ran on stage and tackled her. So apparently we didn't have security. So she really ran on stage and tackled her because she was mad that she didn't win prom queen. And then a fight broke out because then their dates started fighting. And then now because their dates were starting to fight, they had their whole crew, and so those crew got into a fight, and they had to shut the whole damn thing down. So because of someone's jealousy, it ruined prom night for everybody that was there. They had to shut it down. So had I been there, I probably wouldn't have been there too long and would have had to have gone home anyway. So I saved myself a trip. And the problem is that the woman who did the tackling was a friend of mine, and I was thinking, what the hell do you think you were doing? She's like, well, I should have been prom queen. I was like, it don't really matter, really. Like, it was a crazy situation. You probably already heard about this. Did you hear what happened to? Yes, yeah, Vengeance. We actually talked about it earlier today. Still shot. 36. That is a scary number because I'm about to turn 33. So I'm like, damn, a heart attack at 36? I think anybody in that age group, I think we get better start getting on diets and something, because that is scary young. I don't hear that happening too many times. I mean, didn't one of LeBron's kids just have a heart attack? That was freaky too, because he's an athlete, so you wouldn't expect athletes to have heart attacks, but it does happen, because you would expect people who aren't healthy to have heart attacks, but like people who are healthy and they're still having heart attacks, that is freaky. It's just my girlfriend wanted to know what games were like. Yeah. You think Wesker could tank a hit from a 60 millimeter cannon on Arkham Batmobile? Probably. It would hurt, but I'm pretty sure he could. Scarlet and Violet. I played it for an hour and I moved on. I loved Pearl and Diamond. I actually bought both those games. And I love them. I actually made. Actually did. No, I don't think any of you guys saw this, but I uploaded a 3-part series of me and my John using 3 different teams and going against each other. And I don't think any of you guys saw that. But I built there were 3 different teams, and we went in a circle to see which team was the best. And I think each team beat the other. So it was like a paper rock scissors. I think my team beat John's team. John's team beat the team I built for my friend. And I think the team I beat for my friend beat my team. So it was kind of a weird paper rock scissors situation, which I thought fit. Old God of War and new God of War. That is very tough. But I don't think I can answer that because they both work for different periods of Kratos' life. I mean, with Kratos being younger and more youthful, I would definitely prefer the older style of gameplay and this simpler style of story. But I think with the newer style, they managed to surprise me because, to be fair, I would even say that God of War, that pretty much is an RPG. I never would have expected God of War game to work as an RPG. In fact, I'll go as far as to say as this. God of War is a better RPG than Final Fantasy 16. And Final Fantasy 16 doesn't even feel like an RPG at all. So at times. So I was just surprised because I really did not think the new style would work. But it ended up working a lot better than I anticipated, so I give them credit for surprising me. So I really like it when I go in thinking something's going to suck, and then it surprises me. Because it just shows me that I have a lot to learn, and I like having the moments like that. And I don't get to experience that a lot. Wow, you really dodged builds from prom. Yes, I know. That's why I don't regret not going. I had a great night playing Kingdom Hearts that night. You also heard about the fact that, the lady that did the voice for animated series actress, she also died. Yeah, that was sad. But at least she was in her 60s. She was 67. So, that was, I mean, it's sad, but it was like, okay, it's a little bit more acceptable. Yeah, it sounds like senior prom turned to a massive bar fight. Yeah, that's what happened, which is why I'm glad I didn't go. As soon as my friends texted me and told me about what happened, I immediately got up thinking there's no way. I didn't have that reaction, but I was in shock. I was definitely in shock because we were all expecting Bray to come back. I would have expected him to come back during Royal Rumble. That's because it seemed like they had like a whole storyline set for him to go. Because I don't think that storyline was ever resolved. And to think we lost Brody Lee like just 2 years ago. That was surprising, and he also died pretty young. So like 2/2 of the Wyatt family are gone. That is kind of scary. Just out of curiosity, why? Whoa, hang on a second. Whoa, Rocket. Whoa, hang on. I never said I've always been a Nintendo fan. What are you talking about? Hang on a second. Dude, I've always been a Nintendo fan. Dude, my gaming origins is a Nintendo. I mean, dude, look at my case. I mean, look what I did to my Switch. Which, again, the Switch was something I didn't even think I wanted. I was like, I spent years criticizing this damn thing until I accidentally won this, and then I modified it so that it's now in the theme of a old school NES console. I never said I didn't like Nintendo. I like Nintendo. It's just, I'm a bigger PlayStation fan. But heck, my origins in gaming always start with Nintendo. I was growing up during the console war. I was a Nintendo person. My brother was a Sega person. It's just, when PlayStation came out, I just transitioned over to PlayStation, and I've had just better experiences with PlayStation than Nintendo. But if I ever had any kids, without question, their first console or handheld would be a Nintendo system. Without question. Absolutely. I think anyone who wants to become a gamer should start with a Nintendo. Then, as you get older, you can transition over to like an Xbox or a PlayStation. But I think every gamer's first handheld or console should be Nintendo, no question. We lost so many celebrities this year to the point where I'm just like, what is going on? Yeah, it does feel like that, but I think every year feels like that in some sense. So, I don't know. At this point, it's just like the older you get, the less surprised you should be. Okay, we got like 4 more minutes before I need to start getting ready to head out. He's leaving again. SNES is a legendary console. It is, although I still have I have my own N60. I think I've showed it off before. Yeah, I have my old N64 in the back. And to be fair, I did buy the Nintendo Switch, but no, not the Switch, the Wii. I bought a Nintendo Wii. That's a funny story. I bought a Nintendo Wii to play one game. Only one game. Only to find out, to my horror, that they were re-releasing an HD version of that game on the PlayStation 3 6 months later. So I just gave away my Wii. Just some neighborhood kid. So that is the funny story. So I did contribute it. Oh, don't worry, Jackie, but we still have a little bit of time. I bet you think any member of the Bat family could fight Wesker and win. Probably not. Again, you have to beat Wesker genetically. You can't just beat him physically. Like, if you don't know how to genetically break him down, then fighting him head-to-head is pointless. That game was Michael Jackson The Experience, right? Yes, it was, Vamp. You are a listener. Yes, that was it. I still have it. I still have my. Yeah, hang on. I'll leave again. Sorry. I think it's around here somewhere. Sorry, hang on. Let me just see if I can find it. I just saw it because I was cleaning and organizing it. Where the heck is it? Somewhere around here. Screw it. I know it's around here somewhere. I just saw it because I just cleaned up the room because I want the room to look clean before I go. Yeah, I know it's somewhere around here, but yeah, that's what it was. Hopefully next stream I'll be there. Yeah, no, next stream won't be until 2 weeks because next People's Questions is going to be done recorded and it's going to be done with my brother. And again, I'm going to put up a community tab as soon as the stream's over. And if you guys have any questions for him or me, hopefully just him, then he's going to want to be answered. So the more questions that you send in, the better. So, because if you guys have seen older videos, then you know my brother's pretty cool. So, heck, you can even ask him some questions about me, and he'll tell you. I mean, there are characters who can beat Wesker head-to-head without knowing his weaknesses. Probably, but they need to be, like, superpowered. Like, I wouldn't say anyone in the Bat family could do it directly. Like, if you take someone like Superman, yeah, Superman could probably do it. Green Lantern, yeah, he could probably do it. Flash, yeah, he probably could do it. Wonder Woman, yeah, probably. Like, people like that, then yeah, I believe you. But like Batman, no. What is my dream city to go to? My dream city to go to would be New York, Seattle, or Vancouver. At this moment right now, I'd like to visit Chicago. Chicago's on the top of my list, along with Tokyo, Japan, and visiting my birth country of London. Still gotta try to plan a trip there. Who's my favorite Spider-Man? Well, obviously it's Peter Parker. Who else would it be? Okay, alright, just 2 o'clock, so I gotta cut the stream there. But again, you've been to Chicago? Yeah, good, that's good to know. I want to plan a trip there. Alright, I'm gonna cut this stream here. Again, next stream will be done recorded with camera. So give me a few minutes. I'm gonna put a community tab. If you guys have any questions for either me or my brother, who is really awesome, and heck, remember, you can ask him anything, even questions about me that maybe you might be a little bit afraid to ask me directly, and I'm sure he'll answer them. And Again, I'll keep you guys updated if you guys follow me on Twitter and Facebook to let you guys know that I made it and I survived the flight. And like always, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for making this episode of People's Questions awesome. And I will catch you guys next time.